So right now, Philly taking a little bit unconventional approach, and it works out perfectly. Rain was not ready for that spam.
No, not in the least. That was Ivy just chucking him out there, finding both supports early on, and oh man, that is a fantastic start for the Fusion. Ivy might fall in the end, but the damage has been done, and the Fusion should be getting a very quick cap here.
Yeah, a couple of
Retake, Ivy. Just chucking the grenades in from the back. Sato able to get Dreamer pretty early on. Both teams trading out Cole, but Sato doesn't wait. Drops the Shatter early and often, and the Fusion again repelling the Valiant.
So scary right here is that you've got the Graviton Surge for the side of the Fusion. You do have Sound Barrier for Rain, but will that actually protect you? There is so much damage on the side of the Philly Fusion. Look at Dreamer just burn straight through that Sound Barrier.
Yeah, the Graviton doing enough. Alarm with the Cole in the back. Fury on the follow-through. The Fusion operating on all cylinders here, and that was just...
Don't have to initiate.
Well, they open up with the Cole. It's a little bit quicker than Alarms. But there's the EMP from Hisu in response. Sato, though, already down. 5-on-5. The Fusion not out of it here just yet. Valiant still applying heavy pressure, still moving in. Fury under the gun right now. Astro has to drop the beat in response. It's a pretty well-timed beat at that. Dreamer, though, still chases down Ivy. The Valiant somehow living. Dreamer, though, not in for long. And the Valiant return engage is doing more.
The problem, though, is that the control is just picking up here. Sound Barrier for Rain. He needs to end this fight quickly. They're going to commit the Death Blossom as well, trying to just end the fight, get capture control. But remember, this is Legia and Gardens. You can just stall the 99 here so easily, and it seems like slowly that's where the game plan is transitioning to for Philly Fusion. One after another going onto the point. Fury even finds one, so could be the start of something if he can resuit. Oh no, Fury back in the mech. Coalescence again from Alarm. I think they're holding on, ZP.
They are just hanging on to the point. It's as you say, this is not an easy point to come back in and retake. And sometimes you don't have to lose it at all. Alarm with 3 towards the very end. Now 72% for the Fusion. They're looking for him in the moment. And Fusion right now just playing it very safe, and now they have the Cole to back it up. EMP.
Yeah, Cole EMP is shutting them down right now. Beat does come out from Rain. He is hacked just after, though, so they won't have the speed amp to follow this up. And Fury, he's looking for that self-destruct. There he goes, sending it in deep into the backline, forcing the rest of the Valiant forward into the waiting arms of Sato and Ivy. And that's the point right there. 200 to 0.
But now the focus fire on the Dreamer. Lastro's Cole still going in, still giving the Valiant a bit of an advantage. But the Cole now down. The beat's built so quick by Lastro, or by Honey Astro, and now Sato takes down Shax. And the Fusion, they just withstood, and they don't even have to use the beat.
It does cost them their EMP, but exactly right, TP. They have the beat to counter potentially as long as Funny Astro to really get a dominant fight here.
They open with a super early beat. The Valiant just look for pure aggression. They get Hisu early, now they drop the EMP. Astro was waiting for it, drops the beat. Only hits him an Alarm, though, so the Fusion are still in a fairly tough spot. Dreamer knocking people around. KSP just barely able to get out of the fire, but the Fusion are bleeding. The Valiant have made a strong entry into the point, and they should have it.
Yeah, Philly electing to hold on to their tank ultimates. They're giving up on that fight. I think that's a wide EMP probably going to reign supreme.
Well, Dreamer, he's going to go for it. Leaps right in. EMP comes out early as expected. Ivy, Death Blossom to the back. And that fight, Jake, went just about as you expected heading in. The Fusion, just too much power for it, and the Valiant going to have to reset.
I actually don't love that either from Shax, but even the Death Blossom there, I think.
Barely able to shift away. The Valiant committing very hard to try and take Ivy down, and they still get him in the end as the Valiant continue applying some serious pressure.
Still, though, this is not decisive enough. Alarm, he's close to that Coalescence. Both teams, in fact, close to their Coalescence. A lot of ultimates online. This is still winnable. Big boot, though, by Funny Astro. Completely denies the Death Blossom.
Shax is down, but Lastro's still in. Another Cole out onto the field. The Valiant healthier across the board. And the Fusion now starting to feel the pain of attrition here on the point. How much longer can they delay? Don't think it's going to be long. Fury getting demeched. Ivy out of the fight. And this is a pretty decent attack so far from the Valiant here, Jake. 3.5 minutes into C.
The Ivy wants to find something with the Death Blossom. Hard to do without setup, though.
Lastro and Alarm trading out beams to start the fight. Cole one side, Cole the other. The Fusion, though, a little bit lower. But look at that. Shax gets caught. Ivy's Death Blossom, right place, right time. And the focus fire onto Dreamer. His target never wavering. And that's enough for the Fusion to finally get some breathing room here on C.
Yeah, one thing to watch for within the run rampant, because you just don't have the damage outside of your own Reaper to shut them down. Big EMP on the back line, and this could be just a quick team wipe here. Valiant gonna have to reset. That was a beautiful find from Hisu. Gonna just send Valiant right back to their spawn. And the cart's starting to roll backwards here, so Philly...
Fusion waiting to the last moment. They finally drop it onto Dreamer and McGravy. They take down Shax on the side. 6-on-5 advantage now for the Fusion, and they're still so healthy. With 10 seconds left, the Valiant, they're all in.
And look at Fusion, they're charging forward, they smell blood in the water here. They want to get these cleanup kills before the overtime, not let anybody touch, and we will just see the defense come in here. Yep, no overtime forced. Beautiful work by the Philadelphia Fusion. Close map.
A bit healthier here, this is the moment opportunity. Shax super low, the Fusion dive on in, they drop the AP from Hisu, but Rain's right there with the beat. The problem is it doesn't hit McGravy, and Ivy! Death Blossom to the back, the Fusion, they got it.
The beat actually even did hit McGravy. He just got burned so fast that it looked like it was never there in the first.
Yeah, I mean, it got the beat out of Astro, which is really the big part, because it didn't get much else. Shax goes for the Death Blossom, trying to get the D-Mac Fury. Gonna drop the self-destruct under pressure. Should be able to remech Hisu. Low HP, but close to an EMP. Shax out of the fight. The Valiant now gonna get forced back, and Ivy just walking forward. The scariness of a Reaper with Bloodlust. Oh man, the Valiant are in trouble.
Yeah, that's really painful because Philly just won that in the exact ideal way, right? Like, you just use your D.
Coordinate here, Jake. They're not panicking. They're just going for the contain, and Dreamer's down. This could be a very alt-like fight for the Fusion.
Yeah, and they're holding on to the EMP, and they get the point cap in the melee. That's so critical because Hisu, he never dropped that hammer. McGravy now dead, going to be on a long reset. And, I mean, we're very, very close to that golden box of victory, ZP. This is the final fight for the Valiant.
The EMP locked and loaded. This could not be more grim for the Valiant. Already, everyone half HP. Shax down before any EMP is committed. Now it just dropped for the win. 3 down for the Valiant. The Fusion continue to dominate here on Kings Row. That is crazy.
Oh, that patience from Hisu, so sick. He's been incredibly fast.
Taking a lot of fire, able to back out. Now the fire on the Sado. Sado gang low, get healed back up. Both teams trading on the neutral, and the front line for the Valiant just evaporates. The Fusion just hit the switch, Jake, and suddenly the Valiant, they're out of the fight, they're out of the point.
Yeah, and the switch was just Hisu finding that hack onto McGravy. That's the only opening.
5. The Cole is out, and it's a really good response by the Valiant, but the fact that Hisu is even alive is crazy. The Fusion, though, I think they might have overextended a bit. Sado out of the fight early. The Valiant off of Blastro's Cole, able to turn an EMP of their own, and how things change. The Fusion get over aggro, and they pay for it with point A.
Yeah, Fusion, they just didn't look ready to follow up on that. I'm really surprised by that from Hisu. I think
right now, Blastro builds another Cole. It's pretty quick. The Valiant starting to heal back up. They take down Ivy on a 6v5, and now the Fusion looking vulnerable. The EMP comes out, though, from Hisu, hits 6, and that is a fight-saving EMP.
Yeah, just enough. Barely built it in time. Fury trying to just hold on to this self-destruct. Doesn't want to be forced to deploy that late in the fight. And that's so great, actually, that he lives on low HP. Does come out from Dreamer, but neither's getting much. But the hack onto Funny Astro secures the kill. That's an opening there for Valiant. KSP
builder till TV out. Supports down. Both supports down. The Valiant, they have their chance. If Rain can get the beat off, this would be huge. Low HP. The Cole still in progress. The Valiant, an enormously good spot, taking down the Fusion 1 by 1. And Rain didn't even have to use the beat yet, so even if the Fusion starts stalling, it looks any bit usable. The beat's gonna be there. KSP just drops the EMP for good measure. And the Valiant still cap out beat. Weakness is found.
Yeah, hack onto Rain, though, is probably going to force Valiant back. They're limited very heavily on their heals. You can see Philly, they're pouncing on this. That's 1 kill, soon to become multiple. Hack onto McGravy. He's almost certainly going to be chased down. All the heals onto him, but Ivy, no breaks right here. Just running it down mid on the Reaper, and that's, as you said before, is if you the Reaper holding W, that's when you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's running down mid in the most complimentary of terms. It's like, no, you're not throwing, you're just wobble. They're going to open up with Astro's beat. They know there's no EMP, so they can open with it super early. Lastro taken down first. Fusion still at a full 5. Ivy starts spinning the win. McGravy out of the fight. The Valiant starting to fall here 1 by 1. Ivy just finds Shax in the corner. 30% now for the Fusion and climbing. The Valiant need a miracle to keep this defense alive. McGravy's gonna be coming out of spawn here. Self-destruct, ready to go. It'll buy a little bit of time, but they need something, Jake.
Can't even self-destruct. He's hacked, and he's not gonna drop this EMP. I don't think he's gonna use it the entire round here because Rain, he just cannot commit until that EMP comes out. It's not necessary, and they're just closing it out. Like Rain, he's gonna have to just beat on point here. he has no choice, really. Yeah, he can't even get the sound barrier off, so that's just textbook play. Yeah, McGravy close to resuiting. That would be a major swing. Almost has it online. EMP comes out from Hisu, but didn't find anybody? And KSP's is much bigger.
Yeah, it hits 3 towards the end, but the Fusion's still looking to contest. They lose Alarm. Fury's getting demeched. This is getting tougher and tougher. The question is, you're Astro, do you commit the beat? Well, you can't right now. You're hacked. Even if he wanted to, doesn't have the opportunity, but the Ivy out of the fight. This is where Astro likely thinking about saving, even as there's a little bit more contesting going on. I think at this point, it's just to drain a little bit more clock.
Wow, that hack from KSP was so perfect there, because just as you said that, I think that was the moment that Funny Astro needed to drop the beat. It wasn't just any sort of hack of Lucio, it was at that critical junction where...
Ivy into the back, hanging onto Death Blossom. It's not an ideal situation to drop it just yet. And look at that, Sato with the Primal was able to find KSP. The EMP isn't going to be built here, and the Valiant, it's only 15 seconds left. They have to stay in just to get hit by Hisu's EMP. And the Fusion just about have this locked up.
Fury just chasing down a quick kill here, no problem at all. And that's so massive there. Now Philly holding on to second point. I'd say this is a pretty average push from the Valiant. It's drawable, but winnable. Incredibly difficult here. I think holding first for 4.
It's a really nice rotation from the Valiant, though. They're able to shake the pressure. Yeah, Fusion's gotten into the point, but the Valiant have reset up, and oh, Shaxx taking down the Hack-Lucio combination. And now it's up to KSP, takes down Alarm. That is a huge pickoff, and the one way the Valiant can get back into this fight. They've lost Rain, though. I think Rain might be going for the res. Now KSP under pressure, Fusion all around him. Sato, though, out of the fight. And how much longer can KSP shake this pressure? So far, staying alive.
McGravy on 1 HP, it looks like, just running for health packs. I don't think this is winnable. You're just being scouted by Somber. McGravy out of suit. Yeah, this is going to be spawn advantage for Philly. These Philly heroes, basically anyone can escape a Primal. So Fury diving in aggressively, catches off KSP, and I think this is over, ZP. Philly Fusion racing towards that upper bracket final.
They drop the EMP, it hits another 3. One more time. The Fusion about to do another 3-0 here in the semifinal. The Valiant just about out of players, a little bit of extra stall, blown to smithereens, and it's the Fusion.